10-second delay there. Hey, how you guys doing out here? James Silver with another episode of Real Talk with Real Men. I got Kyle, I got Griff, and today we are talking about the single mother syndrome.
Yes, sir.
The single mother syndrome. The thing that is plaguing us for the couple of centuries.
Epidemic.
They call it an epidemic. You hear this word single mother syndrome thrown around a lot. And I guess people have various definitions to it.
Right.
My thoughts on it is where, you got a single mother in the household who, of course, is expressing her female and male masculinity. But for me, it's more or less like a false interpretation of what masculinity is. And she ends up plaguing that onto her children, which then in turn turn them into, I don't want to say bad people. I don't want to say it's a bad thing. It's just something that happens. But it ends up, the kids end up growing with a false sense of masculinity, especially for our boys. And then in turn, more or less turning them to bitch niggas. Let's just throw it out there. Turning them into bitch niggas.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know how else either way I can put it. I just gotta throw it out there. Turn them into bitch niggas,
Okay.
And
a nigga with bitch quality.
yeah. And the one thing I want to say is that it's not so much it's a bad thing, obviously, but I want to say it's not at the mother's fault. You know what I mean? Because
Or is it?
Good point.
That was one of my. Let's be accountable.
I like using my situation as an example because my father more or less falls into the single mother syndrome where he had grew up with a single mother, had two boys, grew up with a single mother. Obviously, the mother's always working because she's putting food on the table, whatever. Boys don't have that sense of masculine father figure, and so they're more or less trying to figure things out as they go, and then it turns into bitch nigga qualities where you got the whole 50-50 thing coming in there where, men think that the household should be split in half and men should be taking care of this, women should be taking care of that. You have situations where the father thinks that it's okay to more or less not grow into his masculine tendencies. For me, it was a bad example of, and I saw this in myself as well. That's why I more or less relate to it because with the single mother syndrome, men are used to having women take care of them. And so they feel like they don't have to work as much, they don't have to do as much, whatever. And I noticed that when my dad started out working, but then when he lost his job and my mom started working, he was the more or less the one that's staying at home, and then she became the breadwinner. But then my dad just never went back to work. You know what I mean? And then when my mom finally left, and my dad had to go back to work, he's out there working, whatever. Then he got remarried, and then all of a sudden he stopped working again. And then stepmom ended up becoming the breadwinner. Yeah. And so seeing that trickle down to me, when I eventually got married, I was working, whatever. Then I got married, ended up having a kid, and I was like, why do I have to work as hard if I got you? You could go out and work. You know what I mean? And that was kind of the pattern that I saw in myself. Was like, whoa. What I need to do is get my ass out there and start working, paying the bills and everything. And it kind of trickled down to that, for me. You guys stop. Because I got another theory with it that comes with it. But
man, there's a lot to unfold in that topic, man.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like we're going to be here for a while.
Yeah.
Let me tell you my second half of it. This is what I kind of saw the core of the single mother syndrome, where you got these single mothers, and what they teach is they teach their men how to treat a woman, but they don't teach them what to receive from a woman. And on the other side of that, so you got single mothers with their girls, they teach their girls what to receive from men, but they don't teach them how to treat a man. And so then you got this cycle of, mistreatment, false...
Incomplete information.
For that false sense of masculinity and everything else.
Yeah.
Well, you got to start at the root, man. Like, why is she a single mother in the first place?
Yeah.
Truly.
That's the core of the problem. So,
Truly.
There's a lot of mothers out there that say, "Oh, your daddy ain't shit," blah this and
Yeah,
blah
all
that.
that, all that.
And there's actually a study on that called the Achievement Gap, where they have mostly African American homes. By there's so many African American kids that aren't succeeding as much as white kids, and it's because of the negative energy that they're receiving from their single parents, saying that the other parent ain't shit. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, like she's not taking any accountability for who she lay down with. I always say that men are the gatekeepers to relationships. You know, he's the one proposing, he's the one taking you out on dates and progressing the relationship. He has to say, yeah, I want you to be my girlfriend, blah, 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 where she's pretty much waiting for him to ask. Whereas women are the gatekeepers to sex. You open your legs. You are receiving his sperm, you're receiving his phallus, you're receiving everything. You're a receiver. You are allowing him you opening that gate, literally and figuratively allowing him in. So when he busting you and then you know what comes next after that, and then you get pregnant. Then you have 9 months to decide if you're going to go full term with the pregnancy. If you know this nigga ain't shit, and you know he's in and out of jail, or he can't keep a job, you not only did you decide to get impregnated by him, before you knew him, so that regardless, that's your fault, whether you knew him or not, you know, that's your fault for not being responsible.
Truly.
But you kept the baby, knowing what comes after having a baby. So I'm not for abortion, but I'm saying that you decided when there's other options, whether it's you know, using contraceptives or abortion, there's many methods to determine you going through being a single mother. You know, you decided to go through with it, so it's all on you. At the end of the day, he could fucking just walk out, and then as it happens every day, you know. But you have options, so. First of all, that's your first problem. You pick wrong, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, then it goes, you know, even past that, I always say, like, the first few years are most important for the child being with the mother. You know, the nurturing years, you know, when you gotta breastfeed, when you gotta, you know, you need that, oh, I hurt myself, oh, okay, oh, my baby. That's fine up to 4, 5, 6 years old. Then after that, I mean, it might sound fucked up, but the role switch, the mother kind of becomes obsolete in the way of the father should be taking over, teaching them leadership, guidance, skills, you know, all this stuff, like teaching you to be tough, teaching you all these things that not necessarily a mother can't teach, but she's not really prone to teach. She's not really built to teach. So when you don't have that second half of your life, you keep that nurturing all throughout your adulthood. You become a man.
You grow up.
Getting them bitch nigga qualities because you didn't have the man to offset that. Teaching you those skills. So you depended on your mom, like you said. Then your girlfriend becomes your mom. And then it repeats the cycle of, oh, I'm just going to, my girlfriend's my mom now. And then, because
growing up in that household where it's like, oh, it's okay for the woman to do all the work and the man to sit around and not do
sit
shit.
and play Xbox all day. She worked. She got a good job. Smoke weed and play Xbox all day.
Oh, well, I'm at home watching the kids. Are you really watching the kids, or you just sleeping all day while we're just running around getting into shit? And then when we get into shit, you beat the shit out of us, and then you don't teach us any life lessons.
Yeah, Mama McDonald, a little dollar burger, and go in the room and watch cartoons. A lot of single moms do that shit too. That's a whole nother beat. But yeah, I'm gonna hold off a little bit for that. I'll let you. There's a lot to unpack on that.
It is.
I would just say the single mother syndrome, but I'll just say single parent syndrome because
it is.
I want to encompass both sides and say that it just leaves unbalance, and in that imbalance and inequity, you got all of the problems with not knowing how to control emotion, not knowing how to control yourself physically, mentally, not being conscious or courteous to other people or self-aware, and the role that you play in your environment and within your household and things like that. It leaves a lot of imbalance. So there's a myriad of everything that you guys described that comes along with that unbalanced environment, that raising with just one dominant figure, and then another dominant figure. I had both my parents, but it was split custody. So I had dad on weekends, I had dad on summer vacations.
So it's probably like
they're both there, but they're still not together in the same room. And I really think you need that balance of two people, two minds in one household. Give each other balance. You can check each other when you feel like you're getting a little too heavy-handed on certain things. You can check each other and give each other balance when you feel like you're not making progress on things that you're trying to teach and implement.
Yeah.
There's times where I feel like I'm not making any progress with my son on an alphabet or some numbers or something, but my wife will start teaching him and get him a book, and he'll open right up and start talking to her open and freely. And it's like, okay, he just needed an outlet with her that I just wasn't able to give him. It's like, when you're not both there, you don't see those things occur. So you don't know that it's not happening or happening. So having both heads, both minds there definitely increases your visibility of, seeing what your child needs, looking at them and seeing just how they're reacting to what's going on in life, everything that we encounter in a day. How's my child responding to it?
Yeah.
What do they think about it? How do they feel about it? You can ask them. There was not a lot of emotional IQ in my household. You were just fed and clothed and sent to school. So I was never really asked how I feel about anything. You know what I'm saying? You just go where I tell you.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? You got two people in the household. Someone might have been able to look at that and be like, well, hey, maybe we should slow down and pay a little bit more attention to him. Let's see if he's comfortable with X, Y, Z, or maybe we can try other things to connect with him, involve him, anything.
You think that's an inner city thing? I don't necessarily say a black thing, because maybe Hispanics deal with it too, but you think that's a more inner city thing? Like, we're not educated as kids on sex and emotional intelligence, like you said. Like, our parents would teach us about the birds and the bees and shit, and
I think that's
your
just
feelings
your generation. Because I speak to people outside of our race and, similar upbringing, similar standards and things. So it's just like maybe a little of the social class of just our financials, to where we didn't have nannies. You might not have grown up with a nanny or a sitter or things like that. Okay. Yeah. In those times, you might be staying at home alone, or you might be with a relative, which would be your grandmother most of the times in our community. Yeah. Your grandmother or your auntie sometimes, or whoever else it may be. So in those situations and dynamics, people are very cautious of other people's egos, their personality, and their territory. If this is your child, another person might not want to do too much to teach your child, to train your child, to correct your child, to discipline your child, because they know that might cause conflict with you if you don't agree with what they did. Yeah. So in our community literally is just that unbalanced, to where we don't know how to function with each other. Yeah. How do we give help to people that are maybe not around? You may be gone from your house, but your house is on fire. Mm-hmm. What do I do for you, being your neighbor? Mm-hmm. Do I look at this shit? Do I call 911, or do I use my water hose? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different solutions, but the way we interact as community is so fragmented because we don't have just a unified identity anymore. A lot of shit just could be better, could be improved upon.
Mm-hmm. This is gonna be a very, very vague question, but it's like, how do we fix the single mother syndrome?
Just start really trying to teach and instill those traditional values of what a relationship means, what it means to be committed to a person, what it means to be loyal and honest with a person. What does that mean? What does that equivalent to in your life? Having those moments of peace of mind, having that certainty that I can count on someone, dependability. We have to start teaching and instilling those philosophies into our youth, more so than just letting the internet feed them, and they just catch on to internet stimulus or video game stimulus, and it just becomes what is popular. We teach them mathematics, we teach them how to read, write, but as far as what to do with all this time you have, what to do with all this talent you have, if you're not applying it to a sport or something like that, then you're just interacting in your environment. What are you doing? You're interacting with the young ladies in your environment. What are you doing? Are you positive? Do young ladies actually see you as a good suitor, or, you know what I'm saying, a attractive mate? Or are you the motherfucker they avoid? Are you the motherfucker that people just tolerate because you cousins with JJ now? You know, you gotta try and, work on that type shit.
I want to say we need more mentorship programs.
True.
Like not so much as having that masculine figure in the house, but like a someone to actually look up to in that sense. Because then when you get like all these single parents or single mothers, however you want to call it, usually the child will leech onto somebody that they see as a mother or not a mother, but as a positive figure. The bad part to that is they usually see it as a gang member or something like that. They say, "Oh, I didn't have a father in the house, so I'm at least to the wrong different role model." So I think we need like an actual true mentorship to actually teach these certain things to, the youth as they grow up, and so it doesn't pose as a problem as as they get older. You know what I mean?
I think if we could look within ourselves and find more of the ability to give outside of our immediate connection to family.
Yeah.
That is giving to your neighborhood, giving to your neighbors. Whatever you can offer, it doesn't have to be monetary or food or, the regular things that you think of, but just time, help. I live in a kind of like an apartment community, but it's townhouses, duplexes, and there's community kids and whatnot. And I see other kids out and their parents don't even come outside the door with them. They just send them outside. There'll be a group of boys just running around in a circle type stuff. All they have is a ball and some scooters. And it's like,
good old days, right?
Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like your kid, we remember that. We remember being outside like that, but this is where you watch your kid, you learn what they're doing and how they're interacting with their environment, with the kids around them. You get to see where I can give them help at and where they may be struggling at. Your child may be scared to approach people. Your child may be having a tough time talking to people. These are all skills that equate to the person they will become later on. If they have trouble with it now, they might develop bad habits that make them an asshole later on in life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You might be a knucklehead later on in life because you just never know you never learned how to shake hands. Yeah. You never learned how to say, "Hey, hello, my name is Kyle. How are you?" Nobody ever taught you that, so you always just, "What's up?" And then people might take that as, "What's wrong with this motherfucker?" Yeah.
You know, you're expressing that,
yeah, you're not meaning any harm, but
kind of persona. It's
all that boils back to what I was saying earlier. With the lack of fathers in the home, to create that leadership, create those boundaries, and this is how you learn integrity. This is how you learn all these things that you learn from your dad. The dad. It's even we can go to statistics. Like more people are incarcerated because they come from single mother homes, not because they come from single father homes, single mother homes. It's a lack of having a father figure in the house. Women become more promiscuous without that dad in the house, putting them on game. He just want to fuck. Just leave him alone. Or he's not good for you. Stay away. She probably gonna rebel, but she'll encounter and learn from those experiences. Like, man, my dad was right. And then she might, but if she gonna keep fucking up, making those same mistakes. If she got a bad, maternal figure, maybe she got niggas in and out the house, and she just used to that. You know what I mean? And the same with the guy, like the boys. They grow up, they looking for that. I think everybody needs masculine energy. Women crave for it, and young children crave for it. They need that masculine energy.
Absolutely.
So it's back to being an epidemic. There's women who treat their kids, their sons, like son husbands. Like they sleep in the bed with them till they're fucking 14, 13 years old, or they're bathing them, or they're doing all this shit because they want that masculine energy from their son. They want to feel needed. They care more about the being considered valuable and being needed than what's best for the child. So that's what's fucking up the kid, and it creates a cycle because the kid grows up fucked up. He creates a baby. He's locked up. I see so many guys locked up that have kids. I'm like, you're a dad? You're a dad? What?
Yeah, right.
And they're incarcerated.
And what's your influence on that child?
Right. It
Nothing
creates a
from
cycle.
Here. Yeah. Exactly.
And he's fucked up because he didn't have a dad, and then he didn't have a dad.
Right.
It all starts from that. They diminish the role of the father so much and the importance of it.
Truly.
And it pisses me off how they really don't give a fuck about us. At the end, I'm only accountable for myself, but just from an observation standpoint, like mothers are praised as just this, which they're great and they're all right, but we're shat upon as dads. Like our role is literally the most important role in the household. We are the king of the house. We're the leader of the house. If there's no boundaries, no rules, no laws, there's chaos. It's literally the opposite of yin and yang. Order, chaos. When there's no order, there's chaos. And what comes with chaos? Feelings. Do what you feel. That's a feminine thing. And my feelings, I feel this way. Monday I feel this way. Tuesday I feel different. Wednesday I feel different. But when there's order, this is the rule Monday, and it's the rest of it's every day. It's the same fucking rule. The dad is laying down the law.
Right.
So when you take that out under the rug, and they did this back in the day during the civil rights movement of black families, like they took us out, got us locked up and started giving them food stamps and government assistance, and then
Got us on drugs.
got us on drugs.
Frank Lucas fucked up for everybody.
Yeah. Shipped us off to Vietnam and shit. And they was like, here's some government food, some food stamps and shit. I was like, hell yeah, I'll take that shit. And I can still take care of my kids. And it's just been a downward spiral since then. The drugs, all that shit.
Yeah.
So when you don't have that key thing, it fucks
That's
everything
staple.
up.
Yeah. To build upon.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's a big important thing, most definitely. And being divorced myself, having the kids go from parent to parent every other week, I really want to stress co-parenting like as much as possible, because even though if you're divorced with somebody or you separate or however, you can still communicate with your ex-partner, whatever. Yeah. Talk about the child, talk about what's best for the child, all these other things. Because first getting divorced, it was really kind of I think it's a very scary thing for any parent when you're getting divorced, when you're thinking about your kids, and what they're going to learn, what they're going to be, who they're going to be around, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to the single mother syndrome, I really do want to stress co-parenting, talking with your other partner, dropping whatever the hell beef you got going on.
Truly.
And just swallowing the pill and just taking care of your kids. I think it's just, again, it's a cycle of people just not wanting to take responsibility or accountability for the things that they more or less do. Mm-hmm. And so can't stress that enough to, take care of your children, talk with them, communicate with them, and more or less spend as much time as possible with them, even when they're young. Because when they get to that 15, 16, 17, they ain't going to give a shit what you say.
Yeah.
They just ain't going to care. But then again, there are some kids where it's like, they have that bond with the parent all the way up into, forever.
I've witnessed, so it's
it's most definitely there.
Yeah.
And
it's
so
still that teenage stage though, where you just think your shit don't stink.
Yeah, I feel like everybody has a little point in time where they feel like they go outside.
Yeah.
I know everything that I've been taught here at home, but I just got to go outside and experience and put this shit to the test.
Yeah.
So
start bucking at your dad. I ain't scared of you no more.
I know better, but
we're the same height now.
What? Man.
I guess I'll go ahead and end it there. Good episode, fellas. I got Kyle, I got Griff, you got me, James, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of Associates Productions, Real Talk with Real Men. Same thing.
There we go.
I missed my reviews. You know where to find us. Go ahead and get to some questions. See what we got in here. Do men think a woman needs to pay on dates?
Needs to pay on dates.
You probably guessed that a woman asked this question.
I'll say depends on how early it is in the dating courtship phase, because me as a guy, I'm going to, if I'm asking you out, I'm going to pay for you to come out with me. I'm not going to put a expense burden on you spending time with me. So I will be paying for the first dates. Now, if we're dating, I will be paying for most of the dates, but I expect you to occasionally at least offer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can agree with that. When you're courting a girl, you want to show her that that you're the provider, that you can take care of her, that you can pay for this, you can pay for that. So I can most definitely say you should be paying 90% of the dates. But then when it gets to the point of sharing those resources and things of that nature, it's like if you guys are in the same household, you're doing this, you're doing that, and you guys are sharing the money anyway. It's like, does it really matter who pays for the date if it's coming out of our bank account? You know what I mean? Unfortunately, I dated a girl who we had that exact situation where it's like we're living together, we're paying the same bills, it's split 50-50, where I fucked up at, we already talked about that anyway. But yeah, we would go on dates. It's like, she would always expect me to pay, and it's like, yeah, but we're gonna pay and then we're gonna go home together. You know what I mean? It's not like, hey, well, I'll see you next on the third or fourth date or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
you
My
know?
account balance is steadily going down
Yeah.
as you get to save money.
Yeah, and then she did have the mindset of my money is my money and your money is my money. So that's another thing I fucked up in. But we're not talking about dating. We're just talking about, you know, should women pay? And I don't think women should pay a majority on that. I most definitely feel like the man should be the provider. He should pay for the date. But
Yeah, it's kind of scary this day and age. Like me, I've learned just throughout my dating experience when I was a lot younger. You know, I used to want to do the Cheesecake Factory and all that. Then we go to the movies, and then she's like, "All right, bye, see you later. I got things to do." I'm like, "I just spent $100-something, bitch. Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? And I might not ever hear from you again."
yeah.
So I learned from that, like, okay, if I'm going to initiate the date, not that I have a problem spending, but I need to know that I'm not wasting my time and money because I need to know you're not playing me. And I'm not just getting blown off just because you want to get a free meal. So I start low. I'm like, we can get a coffee. If the whole point of the date is to get to know each other or to eat,
Man.
I don't need to fucking take you to a 5-star restaurant.
Hey, you remember my rules when it came to dating, right? Like if you're gonna pay for the date, you're gonna do this, but you're not gonna get the hug or the kiss. You could at least do what you want to do on the date. You know what I mean? You know, that was like my number one rule on dating. Like if you don't have to have the hug, you don't have to have the kiss, you don't get to have sex, but the least you could do, if you're paying for the date, the least you could do is go where you want to go and eat or see what movie you wanted to see. I mean, you're the man, you plan the date.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, we go on a coffee date the first time. Because the whole point is to get to know each other, right? We sitting here, $2 coffee, whatever, water, whatever you want. You don't drink coffee, here to get a water. The whole point is sit here and talk, get to know each other. Or it's not for me to take you. I don't know you. Well, I'm about to blow my bank, whether I got it or not, if I don't know you and I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm $100 short and you just had a free meal and you going about your day with the next nigga tomorrow.
Yeah.
What the fuck I look like?
So I feel like I've been blessed in this category because, man, I just have no stories like that. Like, y'all talk about
Dude,
this shit and I just be like,
dude,
man, I can't believe this
You're
is
the-
real. type
Kyle
shit.
is that rare entity where, you know, he just did everything right.
I don't feel like I have. I mean, there's places where I've lost that I know, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, man, it's never been anything rude or just a ghosting or I don't have the courtesy to let you know what's up type shit like that. I feel like my dating experience was had way before like all the petty shit came into play. And it's like, I know people were playing and motherfucking players, female players back in the day. This is 2007, 8,
That's
9,
before social
10.
media.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't that strong. We had it, but it wasn't that strong.
Yeah, it was in its infancy.
And that's just a difference in
That's back when-
mindset, I guess. Because, bro,
MySpace and shit.
Yeah. Well, that's back when like Facebook and MySpace was the Tinder. Like you were finding dates on
right when
on
Facebook was
Facebook
the
and shit.
only one.
Yeah.
I was dating and a young guy out there, but I didn't encourage or I didn't encounter anything like that. And me more so, I had women that were interested in long term or dating or building with me, and I kind of had my decision of do I stay or go based on do I like this or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of always played that role, and I'm like, I don't think of myself as this phenomenal prize catch or like just the star guy in the room, but like that's how dating went for me. So I was just like, motherfuckers are ghosting you or motherfuckers are standing you up or just walking out and shit. It's like, people don't really do that. That's movie shit. But then motherfuckers be like, oh yeah, it happens.
I'm grateful for
Damn.
all the experiences I had to get. But I say this all the time. I literally don't have any regrets in life. The good and the bad made me who I am to this very moment in time. I learned from that. I developed the wisdom from that shit. I could pass that game on to my son or whoever the fuck else I'm talking to. Like, this is what happened to me. This is what I've been through. This is how you should navigate and maneuver because of this might happen. Oh, okay, you know, shit like that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm grateful about the fuck shit. You know, I learned from like, okay, so that's how I'm gonna move in the future, and it worked better. I'm gonna invite you on a coffee date. If you like, nah, I'm good. Okay, well, fine. You're not there to talk. You're there to fucking get a free meal.
Right, I know.
So, the ones that really like you, they don't care. Okay, they there before
Whatever
you get
it
there.
is, they just want the opportunity to hang out.
Right.
And that's what is the
And you're there for 3 hours with the same cup of coffee and talking
Man,
about your whole damn life
talking
story.
to the cup dry and you know what I'm
Man,
saying?
that's what a real date is.
Right.
So,
Yeah, that's how you weed them out, I guess.
Go ahead to the next question. I'm gonna skip that one. I'm trying to maneuver my questions here. because a lot of women ask these questions, which is fine. That's fine. I just don't want to feel like, you know.
Give us one right out the middle. Goddamn.
Right out the middle?
Let's go.
All right, let's go.
Roll the dice.
How can we decipher between kindness and flirtation?
Who is we as men or women?
I want to say just either or. A woman asked this question, but I want to say it's either or. How can we tell the difference between flirting
That's
and
different
kindness?
for women and men, bro. Because
Yep.
I feel like a woman, if you're approached by a man, then that's flirtation. Pretty much. Out
It's
the
true.
box,
It's
that's
true.
flirtation.
But then there are guys where, you know, they're just naturally kind. You know, their mother actually taught them to hold the door open for the lady and all this other stuff. And then you got those females that think just those little gestures, like, oh, he's trying to get my pants. You know what I mean? So I feel like,
Especially if he's attractive.
yeah,
It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a delicate thing, but
Yeah.
is it repetitive? If it's repetitive, is it
That's
with
what I was gonna
implied
With the
emphasis?
same person?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if a person is always nice to you and it's spread out evenly throughout the room,
And it's
hey, I came
consistent?
in and said hello to everyone,
Like
not
it-
just you, but
yeah.
everyone.
if it's like consistent, like
Yeah.
like that person is consistently, you know,
Polite or whatnot,
Coming
helpful,
to you, whatever.
whatnot.
and they just
Because
afraid
this
to
is
ask
something
you
that
out.
I go through in my mind. I'm naturally a helpful person, but like I want it to definitely be with everyone. I want it to be something that no particular person is saying that there's a favoritism or, oh, you're just special on some kind of woman or something like that, because I have a wife. I don't ever want it to be misconstrued as you're being too flirtatious or just too helpful to any particular person. But I am extremely helpful. I will help anyone. And that's something that I look forward to in my day. That is kind of like a self-satisfaction for me type shit. So walking that line, it's like, yeah, I'll help anyone if it's a female that needs help with a fucking box or a door or this, that, the other. Absolutely. And then I'm careful in those acts to not do anything too, I would guess, body language persuasive to where you may be too close to a person or there's some extra contact that you may not feel is necessary. A touch on the arm, a touch on the shoulder, a touch in a familiar spot when you should be familiar with this person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, a compliment that might be a little bit too much. A nice, hey, nice smile, or you smell good today. And you don't need to do all of that just to be nice to a person.
Kind of perfume.
You know, just to open the door to
that
somebody
Chanel?
or, you know, help them out. Let me hand you this pen because it got a
good in
little
the
further.
pants.
Oh, man, thanks. Oh, that lotion, it smells good. You don't have to do that. So, like, that's where the fine line is. Motherfuckers will say, oh, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything, bro. And then it's like, bro, you go back and look at the tape and it's like, motherfucker, you
Look at
had
her
your
like
crotch
this and
all in
shit,
her
you know what I
ear.
mean?
You know what I'm saying? You breathing all on her neck. And yeah, I would have felt uncomfortable too. Oh, no, but I didn't do anything.
I'm
So
gonna
it's like-
simplify it, man, and you use the perfect word. It's body language.
Yeah.
Body language. It goes for men and women.
True.
If speaking from a man to a woman, if he's like looking you straight in your eyes and he got a big old goofy grin on his face, it's obviously he likes you. He thinks you're
Right.
attractive. He ain't gonna think you're attractive. He ain't gonna be all up in your face grinning and got a big ass. You know, he just staring into your soul while he's talking to you. He thinks you're attractive. If he don't, he gonna be looking like the other way. Hey, what happened? So what happened
Kinda
to work
more
today?
dismissive.
You know, yeah, more dismissive.
Yeah.
When you go get help from Walmart and a guy lifts a box off he ain't looking you in the eye. He's like,
Yeah.
he get that. Okay, yeah, okay. Then he goes about his day. He probably don't even know what you look like. He just
Right.
heard you. Yeah, okay, man. But if he's looking you in your eyes, staring you in your soul, he got a big grin on your face, he thinks you're attractive. He's flirting with you.
Right.
For women, it's the same thing. And I've dealt with this when I've had certain jobs, and they'll be all up on the counter with their boobs all like, hi, they're
Right.
twirling their hair, and they're just. This is something I picked up on from experience. The more unattractive women are the boldest. They don't give a fuck. They be
absolutely.
like, "Oh, you fine as fuck." Blah blah blah. Like just say
Right.
whatever the fuck.
Right.
Damn. Let me across the hall. Damn, he fine.
Because what do you have to lose?
Right. What do they have to lose? They might.
Ugly confidence.
Right.
Ugly confidence.
But the attractive women are a bit more covert.
They're gonna make their presence known, but
They're
they're not gonna
afraid to
say
get
it.
it.
Right. They might even initiate a conversation with you, But in the comment, they don't give a fuck about what they ask you about. So what's going on with that down the hall? They don't give a fuck about that. They just want to interact with you. They're not going to acknowledge your appearance.
Exactly.
But they're going to want to engage with you because they think you're attractive. Why would they? If they're attractive and they think they the shit, they only going to engage with you because they like you. They think you're attractive. So they're a little bit more covert about it. Whereas this is what I've learned through my experience. Just the differences. Just it's body language. 100% body language. How do they move around you? How do they look at you? Do they smile a lot? And people who are dismissive, like you said, are not gonna be flirty. They just, okay, you're unattractive. I'm not gonna be smiling at you. I don't. No. Like I don't like looking at you. I'm smiling.
They have way more patience with you as well. You're doing something that's really irritating their fucking soul. Like, that's all right, I got it. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? That's I'll get another one.
Right.
They got a lot of patience for your fuck ups. Yeah, they like you.
That's flirtation.
Yep.
All right, and then we just ended there.
Boom.